And it's the men's 5,000 meters in the T11 category. So Manuel GARNICA of Spain, but Nuno Alves, immensely experienced, will be one of the contenders from Portugal, along with FERREIRA, who has had 5 podium finishes. And here is Hasan KEJZAR of Turkey. And each runner will have a guy. There is FERREIRA, 45-year-old, won a silver medal in the Barcelona Olympics as part of the Portuguese football team. Sandi NOVAK of Slovenia missed out in London, so will be keen to return to the United Kingdom with more success. Nuno Alves, bronze medalist at the World Championships last year. Manuel GARNICA from Spain, who failed to finish at the World Championships in Lyon. So 12.5 laps of the track. And Rob Matthews of Great Britain set the European record, 15:43.34, way back in 1989.
So the final of the men's 5,000 meters T11 is underway. GARNICA of Spain, Alves of Portugal, NOVAK of Slovenia, FERREIRA of Portugal, and Huseyin KEJZAR of Turkey. And because it's T11, complete visual impairment, they all have guides. So GARNICA has Roberto Alvarez, Nuno Alves has Ricardo ABREU, NOVAK has Cesar, FERREIRA has Ricardo MESTRE, and KEJZAR has Muhammet Ugur CAKIR. We can update you, by the way, that Roberto, it took a long time for her measurement to come through in that women's long jump final, and her first attempt has come up as a foul.
And we saw the teamwork in one of the 5,000 meter races in the women's wheelchair classifications yesterday, before Manuel simply sped away from the field. And there will need to be plenty of communication here if we're to have something similar, not just between the athletes, but more significantly perhaps between the guides, to see who will take on the pace. And it's the Turk from lane 5, KEJZAR, who is content to do it at the moment with the Spaniard behind him.
Is the bronze medalist from the World Championships in Lyon last year at the 800 meters, but FERREIRA has been much medalled down through the years. In athletics, going back to 1996, a silver in the marathon, bronze in the 10,000 meters, but that football silver, 1992, Barcelona, the first Paralympic Games to be televised, and was just an hour's highlights the week after. We've come a long way since then, but his most recent major championship medal, FERREIRA, the bronze medal at the last European Championships 2 years ago in the Netherlands, coming in the 1,500 meters. So leading the way at the moment, KEJZAR of Turkey, just ahead of GARNICA of Spain. Then come the 2 Portuguese, Alves and FERREIRA, and Sandi NOVAK of Slovenia is 5th at the moment, but they're all very heavily bunched together right now.
And all of these athletes are in the T11 classification, so we should have a reasonably bunched field for certainly the opening stages of it, but there's quite a wide variation in personal best. You've got Alves, who has 16:05.96, going through to somebody like NOVAK of Slovenia, who is 17:47.33, which was set this year. But at the moment, the Turk, Hasan KEJZAR, is happy to lead things out alongside his guide, Muhammet KAKIR. But I'm sure they will sense that the likes of GARNICA, Alves and FERREIRA are breathing down their necks.
Yeah, Nuno Alves in this for Portugal as well. FERREIRA with a major amount of medals in his career. Alves with the bronze in the 5,000 meters at last year's World Championship in Lyon. Alves is in that now lead group of 3. FERREIRA's just split off at the back, and further back is Sandi NOVAK of Slovenia. Our leaders, GARNICA of Spain, KEJZAR of Turkey, and Alves of Portugal, who also won the silver medal in the 1500 meters at the last European Championships in Stadskanaal 2 years ago. But there's quite a gap developing now between the top three and the rest, and being left behind for the moment is Carlos Ferreira and all his medals, all his successes, Paralympic gold at Sydney 2000 in the marathon. But he's had a career which realistically dates all the way back to what you might consider the first Paralympic Games of the modern era. Seoul 88 received no TV coverage, and there were very many different events there in athletics than what we had 4 years subsequently in Barcelona.
But the Slovenian just going through there. NOVAK has got some problems to keep in touch at the moment with the leading pack, and also 45-year-old Carlos Ferreira, because KACAR is happy to do things from the front here as they come through with 9 laps to go. A bronze medalist over 800 meters in Lyon at the World Championships 12 months ago. And Nuno Alves of Portugal, who is there in 3rd place at the moment, says he enjoys athletics most of all for the socializing, and he'll be keen to keep in touch with those ahead of him at the moment.
Well, the guide will be giving a running commentary as well about what's happening in the race and where their placement is, but Ferreira, for all his successes, finds himself quite a long way back. The fastest times in the career, Nuno Alves, who's the Portuguese in 3rd place at the moment, 16:05. His season's best is 16:25, as is that of GARNICA of Spain, who's in 2nd place, and that was set this year. KEJZAR at the moment is punching very much above his weight, but doing very well. His lifetime best set this year of 17 minutes 22 seconds, and they're far and away ahead of the rest right now. About 30-40 meters clear of Ferreira in 4th place, and a further 30 or so meters back is the Slovene Sandi and his guide Roman KEJZAR.
8 laps to go, and you could maybe see there on the home straight there was a constant dialogue going on between Manuel Garnica and Roberto Alvarez, his guide. The Spanish pair, he failed to finish in the World Championships 12 months ago. At the moment he's in the silver medal position, but KEJZAR looks very comfortable at the front, and he has been there right from the gun so far. And we saw Suarez of Spain lead from gun to tape in the 5,000 meters yesterday, in another of the visually impaired events. And KEJZAR is looking to do something similar here. But there will be finishing speed from the other two, but the gap between these three and the rest seems to be growing at the moment, and Carlos Ferreira is maybe beginning to feel his aging legs here. The gap is around 75 meters between these three, and Ferreira in 4th place, and then NOVAK is another 20 meters or so behind the older Portuguese runner as they come through with 7 laps to go.
It is a huge margin right now between the leading 3 and the rest. It's around 100 meters or so, and growing all the time. And Carlos Ferreira, for all the success he's had, struggling a little bit at the moment. He is the oldest in the field at 45. The lead 3 of Nuno Alves, his fellow Portuguese, Manuel Garnica of Spain, and Hasan Huseyin KEJZAR of Turkey. Well, they've launched out a huge advantage at the moment, and it's almost the entirety of the back straight right now. Major move that's been made by these leading 3, and they're keeping a very good pace going at the moment. And they're bunched together and are quite content at that, and they have burnt off Ferreira of Portugal and NOVAK of Slovenia. NOVAK at the moment is only about 40 or 50 meters back from the 4th place Ferreira right now, but as they turn the crest of the bend heading in towards the closing straight, Not much movement at the front so far. These six, the three athletes and their guides, keeping a very good advantage. Leading them out, KEJZAR of Turkey. Second place, GARNICA of Spain. Third, the Portuguese Alves. And we've 6 laps to go.
And there was almost a bump there between GARNICA and his guide as they came round about 50 metres ahead of the finish line. And of those 3, he seems to be the one indulging in most communication with his guide at the moment. There doesn't look to be too much chatter between KEJZAR and KAKIR, the Turkish pair currently in the lead, nor between Nuno Alves and Ricardo ABREU, the Portuguese guide and athlete who are currently in 3rd place. And I suppose we have somebody speaking Portuguese, somebody speaking Spanish, and somebody speaking Turkish, so that they can have a constant conversation, maybe confident in the knowledge that nobody else will be picking up their tactics.
Yes, and the conversation would be constant between the 3 teams. Maybe a similarity between Spanish and Portuguese, but as it happens, it's a big help in a competition like this to have a running commentary from your guide to see exactly, or find out exactly what's happening all around. Well, these 3 will be doing their best to divvy up the medals from here. Leading the way out, Hasan, Huseyin, KEJZAR, whose only major recent championship medal came in a much shorter distance, the 2 laps, the 800 metres, alongside Muhammet, Ugur, CAKIR, Lyon, July last year in the Stade de Rhône in the World Championships. Just behind them, Manuel, GARNICA, with his guide Roberto Alvarez, and also Nuno Alves, who's quite content to let them do all the work right now with Ricardo ABREU, his guide alongside. And they're keeping enough of a distance, but now maybe the move has come, and here comes the Portuguese Nuno Alves. Well, it's been silver and bronze for him before, but now he's looking for gold, and he's made a big breakaway with 1,800 metres to go, and they're accelerating all the time. Alves, bronze last year in this 5,000 metres in Lyon, silver the year before in the Europeans in the Netherlands, in the 1,500 metres, and now it's up to the rest to respond.
And you can go back as far as 2002 for also a bronze medal in the 1,500 metres, but they just decided to inject some pace into the race now. And he came into this with the best, personal best, 16:05.96. He's run 16:25 this season. And if KAKAR is going to win this race now, and he has been dropped significantly as well by GARNICA, and clearly the Spaniard believes it's time to chase down his Iberian opponent, who is currently leading and is currently pulling away. KEJZAR has never run under 17 minutes, and he was going to have to, you feel, to try and win this race. And at the moment, the field is spread very, very wide, very, very quickly. FERREIRA in 4th place just comes over the line now with 4 laps to go out of your picture, and I wonder if he can see KEJZAR.
3.5 laps to go. Nuno Alves is the leader for Portugal, and he's got a good lead of around 20-30 metres at the moment, as you can witness, over Manuel GARNICA of Spain. He made a brisk move with around 5.5 laps to go, and there's almost 3 left. It's a strong lead, but they have to maintain it for another 1,300 metres. Alves with the advantage over GARNICA for now. It's Portugal leading Spain, and they've left the Turkish athlete Hasan Huseyin KEJZAR behind, the bronze medalist in the 800 last year. But he's got a massive lead of almost half a gap over the man in 4th place right now, going all the way back to the other Portuguese, Carlos FERREIRA, the wonderful veteran. Less than 3 laps to go, and it's Nuno Alves who leads for Portugal ahead of Spain's Manuel GARNICA.
And Alves' guide, Ricardo ABREU, is spending a lot of time looking around now. Of course, he is the eyes of his teammate, and he's just ensuring they're maintaining that gap between themselves and Manuel Garcia, who is in 2nd place. And there is a gap now of around 20 metres between them, and GARNICA is not really making too much of an impression on that. And KEJZAR is a distant third place, but more importantly for him, FERREIRA is an even more distant fourth place.
Well, the main battle is for gold here because bronze seems to be decided right now. Huseyin KEJZAR is too far back from gold and silver, but he's way ahead of fourth place. And coming down for the third last time in the closing straight. Has he made the move at the right time? Nuno Alves for Portugal. The lead is around 5 seconds over Spain's Manuel GARNICA. They haven't won, either of these two, a major championship title before. Carlos FERREIRA has, but he's way back in fourth place. A gap of around 30 meters between first and second, and around 80 meters for second and third as the Turkish KEJZAR passes through now. He's got 2 laps to go, but our leader Nuno Alves, with Ricardo ABREU alongside him, has got a lap and a half.
And that gap is being maintained by Nuno Alves at the moment. Here's GARNICA preparing himself for something special on the final lap, but it will have to be something very, very special indeed. Because Nuno Alves, with that injection of pace, with about 5 laps to go, has just spread out the field. GARNICA had the strength and pace to go with him. They dropped KEJZAR. And now, as he comes down the home straight for the penultimate time, he looks to be in really good shape, Nuno Alves, and he looks to be building up for a very quick final lap here, just to round things off.
And there goes the bell, and Alves put his left arm up in salute. He's on the inside of his guide. GARNICA on the outside. GARNICA was certainly looking to accelerate. There's still a gap of around 30 meters between these two, but they're really going a full belt now in this final lap of the men's 5,000 meters. Well back, still with the bell to hit. In third place is Huseyin KEJZAR of Turkey, but on the back straight, it's between these two. It's a good lead for Nuno Alves of Portugal, and GARNICA is being urged on by his guide here, Roberto Alvarez, to keep it going, and it's Alvarez leading out GARNICA at the moment. Remember, the athlete has to cross the line first, even in the 5,000 meters. It's Nuno Alves leading them out here for Portugal. They're all over the track at the moment, and they'll probably lap the Slovene before the end. NOVAK, who's in the closing straight, who still has a lap to go. They've decided to go on the outside. Nuno Alves is still leading. GARNICA's putting a real belt on, and here we go. And the guide from Portugal has seen it, and he's told Nuno Alves to put the acceleration on, and that's what he's done. And Nuno Alves is the European champion, 16:10.74, and GARNICA crosses the line in second place.
His guide passed it first.
He did do indeed. Well, watch this space, but it's victory for Nuno Alves. At the moment, coming through in third place, still with 100 meters to go, is KEJZAR of Turkey, but it is gold for Portugal and gold for Nuno Alves. Second place, crossed the line, was Manuel GARNICA.
His guide definitely went first.
Third is KAKIR, and well, the Turkish guide has made sure that KEJZAR has crossed the line ahead of him. There might have been a big Spanish boo-boo there, and perhaps a steward's inquiry, but definitely it is Portuguese gold. Now in fourth place, Carlos FERREIRA, but if there's a problem with the Spanish, just take a look as they cross the line. You see the guide holds back, and that didn't happen with the Spanish team. And I think that's cost GARNICA the silver medal, and that might just have been bronze for the fourth place FERREIRA, which means NOVAK is coming through, and he'll cross the line in fifth place. And, well, actually, it's a good speed they've all shown here, and I think he's going to break his personal best, so he can't complain too much. He crosses the line ahead of his guide.
Well, we'll have to wait and see what happens there with the Spaniard, because looking at it without a replay, he clearly seemed to go over the line following his guide. Nuno Alves, though, no doubt he wins, 16:10.72.
Wow. Well, there's been a lot happening in that. And this is the moment the break came. It was around 6 laps to go when Nuno Alves shot out in front, and it stayed that way at the time. Huseyin KEJZAR of Turkey was leading, but Nuno Alves took the bit between his teeth, shot away, an acceleration in the closing straight, and Alves comes through to win.
Behind his guide, more importantly.
Guide stayed back, did Ricardo ABREU, but that didn't happen with the Spanish. Season's best and personal bests right across the board, but we'll let you know what happens with GARNICA because the guide crossed through first. Great result for Nuno Alves. He is the European champion. He's been winning medals since 2002.
Well, the most interesting thing to look out for here is what happened to Manuel.
He's been disqualified.
He's been disqualified.
He's disqualified. GARNICA's gone, and KEJZAR of Turkey has been promoted to the silver, and FERREIRA has taken the bronze. GARNICA's guide crossed first.
That is a massive error from the guide. This is what happened. His guide clearly crossed the line before he did. There's no doubt about that.
It was a sprint finish. I mean, they were both going full belt, and GARNICA and his guide got it absolutely wrong.
Roberto Alvarez, it's his error, you have to say.
Well, I think he was expecting GARNICA to overtake him, and it never happened. The communication obviously broke down.
Means yet another podium finish for Carlos Ferreira. At the age of 45, he gets yet another medal, and a personal best for him, 17:14:46. Hasan KEJZAR, under 17 minutes for the first time in his career. Well done to him. He gets the silver, 16:50:59. Nuno Alves, though, undoubtedly gets the gold.
I can't believe he did that, Nigel. I can't believe he did that.
Means yet another podium finish for Carlos Ferreira. At the age of 45, he gets yet another medal, and a personal best for him, 17:14:46. Hasan KEJZAR, under 17 minutes for the first time in his career. Well done to him. He gets the silver, 16:50:59. Nuno Alves, though, undoubtedly gets the gold.